Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In Tunisia, couscous is prepared once a year by hand and by women from the same family or neighborhood coming together in groups. Most Tunisian families will go get their yearly stock of couscous provision from these women across the country around mid-August. We call this preparation of homemade annual food reserves el-Oula. In the traditional method of preparing couscous, groups of people come together to make large batches over several days, which are then dried in the sun and used for several months. Every family prepare enough to last until the following year. They do the same for tomatoes, peppers, and figs. Although many rural communities have urbanized, these traditions continue to persist. As shown in this video, my mom have prepared a large quantity of couscous. Today we will prepare two types of couscous: Durum wheat couscous and semolina couscous. This labor-intensive process continues until all the semolina or durum wheat has been formed into tiny couscous granules. First, we prepare a clean plastic bucket. We pour 10 liters of water into it. We add salt, turmeric, and some cloves. Then we stir until the salt dissolves. For the next step, we need a large bowl with a nearly flat bottom or a large round platter. You want the flat bottom so you can rub and push around the semolina, and you need a large bowl for space to work. Couscous is still prepared manually until today. For this, several utensils are used. The humidification and rolling of the semolina are carried out on the gasa, which is a very broad dish and hollow plate in wood. Sizing and calibration of the grains of wet couscous are made by sieving through sieves and steaming with a couscousier. In Tunisia, couscous is available in a coarse, medium, or a fine-grained form. In this video, I will show you how to prepare medium grain couscous, which is the most common type of couscous used by Tunisian families. This is mixed with water and rolled originally by hand to make small grains of various grades. These grains are then steamed over a boiling sauce in two-chambered pot called a casquesse or a couscousier. Once the couscous grains are fluffy and the sauce is cooked, the two are mixed together and served, often with meat or grilled fish on top. In Tunisia, there are thousands of ways to cook couscous and thousands of places where you can eat it. The basic ingredient in couscous dishes is semolina. Pour in the semolina or durum wheat. The process of preparation is the same for semolina couscous or durum wheat couscous. With one hand, sprinkle a bit of water onto the semolina and use your other hand to rub it into the semolina. Do this gently. We need to moisten semolina with water. Then gently work the semolina in a circular motion with your hand held flat and fingers spread without pressure until the semolina has absorbed all the water and feels dry. The semolina is sprinkled with water and rolled with the hands to form small pellets. Continue to moisten the semolina with water and roll with your palms and fingers until the semolina which will increase in size and become rounder, starts to look like fine couscous. So, lightly sprinkle water onto the semolina with one hand while you swish and rub the mixture with the other. Be gentle. You want to make little clumps of semolina, not a dough or anything slightly sticky. So, add just a bit of water at a time and a lot of swishing. Continue until all the semolina has collected into small lumps and the mixture feels uniformly moist. It should not feel wet. To keep them separate, we sprinkled these pellets with fine semolina, about the size of a pinhead. If the grains are slightly wet, sprinkle with a little more fine semolina and roll lightly in a circular motion as before until they feel mostly dry. This process requires a lot of patience, especially if the quantity is large. Couscous is a North African dish traditionally served with meat, vegetables, and spices. It's a staple dish in Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and Libya. Its popularity stretches into Egypt, the Middle East, and Europe as well. Couscous is a Tunisian national dish, but it's more than just a staple food. For many families, preparing and eating couscous is a ritual and a tradition that binds the generations together. In many ways, couscous is to Tunisia what pasta is to Italy. It's not just a food to put on the table, it's a centerpiece of family life. After that, set a sieve over a large shallow container. The mesh size is around 1.5 millimeter. The Tunisian name of this type of sieve is mamfda. We will gently work the couscous through the sieve holes, discarding any large clumps that accumulate in the large sieve. The couscous need to be sieved again. We will use a finer sieve with a mesh size equal to 1 millimeter. Small granules of couscous fall through the sieve and are again rolled and sprinkled with dry semolina and rolled into pellets. Couscous is a worldwide cereal product prepared by wet agglomeration of durum wheat semolina that has been subjected to physical treatments such as steaming and drying. The couscous is eaten salty, sweet, with a fresh and fermented milk, and with different kinds of meat or ethnic meat-based products. The steam cooking pot is called couscousier in French and couscous in Arabic. It's typically made of two interlocking pots of either the traditional ceramic or metal, steel, aluminium, or copper. The first, the base, which is the larger one, holds water or soup used to produce steam in the meat and vegetables to be cooked as a stew. The second, the smaller pot, which is designed to be placed on the top, has a lid and perforated floor so that it holds the couscous in place while allowing the steam to enter and seep through the grains, letting the couscous absorb the flavor from the stew. Once the couscous is steam cooked, the lower pot is kept at simmer until the cooking is complete, and the prepared dish is served. Add the couscous to the cascade or the top part of the couscousier. Or you can also put the cascade on top of the lower pot and add couscous slowly. The steamer's lid has holes around its edge so steam can escape. It's also possible to use a pot with a steamer insert. If the holes are too big, the steamer can be lined with damp cheesecloth. Wrap a large kitchen towel or plastic wrap around the sides of the couscousier where the two sections of the pot meet to force all the steam up through the couscous. Let the couscous steam uncovered for 20 or 30 minutes. After steam starts coming up, take the couscous out of cascade and transfer it into a plastic bag. This step Prevent steamed couscous from drying. Continue the process of steaming for the whole quantity of couscous. After finishing the steaming process, we need to rub the steamed couscous through the large sieve called manfda. But before that, we have to break up any clumping grains of couscous by hand or wooden spoon. This process helps to separate the grains or the couscous grains. Then we spread separately the semolina couscous and the durum wheat couscous on white sheets. For the first day, the couscous will be dried in the shade. Then it can be left to dry in the sun for 2 or 3 days. After that, the dried couscous can be used for several months. The handmade couscous may need to be rehydrated as it's prepared. This is achieved by a process of moistening and steaming over stew until the couscous reached the desired light and fluffy consistency. Finally, the most appropriate way to preserve couscous is to place it in cloth bags in the shade away from heat. We can add some bay leaves to it. I hope you'll enjoy this recipe. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share this video and subscribe to my channel.